We've been covering a lot of different tools and things that we can do in Photoshop. Right now, I want to spend just a couple more minutes and go into a little bit more detail on smart objects. So I have an image open here. He's just called scared.jpg. We used him when we were working on selections the other day. But he is just a standard JPEG image, okay? So just a photo. If I was to go make some changes to him right now, let's go work with him right here. You can see I've got my background layer over here and it's locked. So I'm just going to click and unlock that. And let's say I want to make him smaller. So I'm going to do a Command T for transform. Let's fit in window here. I'm going to grab the corner and I'm going to make him much smaller like that and hit return. Now, we're in Photoshop. This is all pixel-based information, and my file has a resolution to it. Okay, so when I take something and make it smaller like that, I am lowering the resolution of it as he decreases in size. And when it does that, it throws away content or information. So if I want to size him back up, I'm going to do another Command T. And I'm just going to drag him back to where he was in the first place. If I do that, and I actually don't even have to zoom very much, you can take a look at him and you see how pixelated he is. And that's because it threw out data when I resized him. Okay, it didn't have any place to store it, it just threw it out. That's how that works. Now I'm going to hit return and accept this change to it, and you'll see what happens is Photoshop cleans it up a bit, okay? But he's very blurry around the edges. He's very blurry and soft. We don't have the crispness that we once had in this image. So that's a problem with our images, you know. So if I resize something, I start losing data, okay? Start losing resolution, and I don't really want to do that. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to revert real quick. And in fact, I can zoom in and you can see that he is a little crisper and a little better looking than he was after the resize. Okay, so one thing that we can do to help us with things like this is we can work with smart objects. What smart objects do is it takes our layer and it's like it encapsulates it. It puts it in some kind of container and it holds all of the original data in that container, so it doesn't throw anything out. So let's go back to this guy here. I'm going to go back to his layer. I'm going to unlock him right there. I'm going to do a right click on the layer, so I can come over here and find Convert to Smart Object. Okay, so find that one, click on it. Now, you don't see any difference with him. I'm going to zoom in over here on the layer, and you'll see that it added something to a little icon to his thumbnail right here, and that means that it is now a smart object. So all of that resolution is contained within a container. I'm going to do a Command T again. I'm going to make him a little small, accept that. Now let's come here and let's resize him back up again. He looks the same there. I'm going to hit return. He looks the same there. Okay, so it's logged all that data in. I'm not losing anything. So that is very advantageous to us. So that's something I definitely suggest you start using with your layers. Now there is a disadvantage here, and that is I cannot edit the pixels. And that seems like kind of a big disadvantage because this is a pixel editing program. So for instance, if I go grab the paintbrush over here or the eraser, you see that I have the little slashed circle there. I can't do anything on this layer. It complains if I try and do it. Now it tells me it must be rasterized before proceeding, or edit contents. Well, edit contents will no longer be available if I rasterize it. So let's cancel. So what it's suggesting, I'm going to come right click on the layer, is I could come over here and say rasterize layer. So rasterize layer is going to convert it back into standard pixel information. If I do it right now, I haven't lost anything. He's his original size. If I shrunk him down and then rasterize the layer, once it rasterizes, it actually throws out that data. So we're back to the original problem. Okay, so this is something we don't particularly want to do. The other option that we have, and it mentioned, is I can slide right up here and I can do an edit contents. Okay, so I'm only looking at this layer. It's encapsulated, it's all held in a container, but I can go edit the contents within that container. So when I click on that, it takes me into another window. Now it looks just like the first one. Okay, I can flip between them. They pretty much look alike. But you notice up here at the top it says layer0.psb. Now mine did not give a warning. Yours will likely give a warning. And it's going to tell you that you can edit it, and when you're done, save it and close it. Okay, so I'm basically in that container right now. So let's see, I have the paintbrush. I could come in here and do whatever with it, or I could go get the eraser if I wanted to, and I don't know what I want to erase, but let's just stick a hole right there. Okay, I can do whatever I want to it. Make edits to my pixels. Then I'm going to come up to File, and I'm going to say Save. And I'm going to go close this window, and there he is. Now this is my original. You see that my changes are here, and I can't make changes to this one. Okay, so it keeps things locked away that way. Works well though, because I still have access to my pixel data. I just have to take this one extra step, and it really helps me out here when it comes to resizing things. Okay, so the biggest deal on this is it helps me hold my original quality. So I want you to keep that in mind. Okay. Let's see, a couple things about smart objects. I do want to mention that smart objects do make your file sizes larger. And that makes sense because I'm taking that original data, holding it together, and I can resize it. So like if I make it smaller, it doesn't throw away those pixels. If it did, it would make the file size smaller, but it's going to keep those in there. There is actually the possibility of putting multiple items into a smart object as well. Might as well show you that real quick. Here's that bear scare file that we were playing with the other day. So I have 3 different layers. I'm going to go get the scared image over here and the bear image. I'm going to hold the shift key down so I can select both of them. Okay, so they're both selected there. I'm going to right click on this, and I can go convert to smart object. And now you notice in my layers that it combined them into what looks like one layer, but it's a smart object. Okay, so now I can't edit the pixels. You see the little mark on there, okay? And I cannot work with them independently even, because they're locked together, so they're moving together now. Okay, so that is a limitation. However, I can of course go modify it. And once I edit the content on it, it brings me into this new window showing me both of them. So say for instance I want to move them independent of each other. I have both of my layers back. I can come over here and select the scared guy and say move him over a little bit. Now let's save. And let's close that window, and you see that he's moved here in the original. Okay, so it definitely has some advantages. You won't always want to group things or put them together in smart objects, but it is a possibility. Definitely something that you can do if you would like to. I'm going to close this one back out. No need to save that. Let's see, I do want to point out up here under File, I can come down here and I can do place embedded or place linked, and that's one of the ways that I can add another image into this image as a layer. The difference being place embedded, well, it embeds the image into this file, so all of the data, all the pixels come into this one. Place linked does not. It links out to the original, so it puts it here. You can see it in its own layer, but it does not embed it in this file. The advantage to that one is sometimes I might want to go edit that file independently, and then it would update this file. So you just kind of have to pick which one you want to work with. When you use one of these, I'm going to go pick one, and which do we want to get? Well, we'll just get another copy of Scared. Why not? Scared, place. Okay, you see him dropped there. You see the big X across the window. Once I am happy with him, I'm just going to hit return. Now, see there's a second one under there. That's kind of odd that I have to, but what I want to point out is when I place things, they come in as smart objects as well. Okay, so something to keep in mind. Anytime you place an image, whether embedded or linked, it comes in as a smart object. Okay, let's see. I want to go show you something else. I'm going to close this file. Don't need to save it. And I want to go get my wilderness image right here. I'm going to open that in Photoshop. And I want to place an image into this one. So File, I'm going to say Place Embedded, and I'm going to get this Brian Minier one right here and say Place. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm just going to go ahead and hit return and accept it. Okay, looks like I could have enlarged it a little bit. I've got a little bit peeking at the top and bottom, but I'm going to stick with it for the moment. So I might be working with an image here. Maybe I am making some changes here. I might want to come down and do like soft light or something like that, some kind of effect on there. Once you have a placed smart object in here, what I want to show you is that you can actually replace it. I can go to Layer, I can come down to Smart Objects, and I can come down here and replace contents. Okay, so select replace contents. Now I can go pick another one. Let's grab this one with Claudia here, place it, and you see that it's dropped that one in there. Now this one's a different size, so it's kind of odd. So you see it out there in the middle. Might need to resize it, but it is also a smart object. Okay, so you are able to replace smart objects that you have placed in there. Okay, well I think that is about everything I wanted to show you about smart objects. Hope you can start to find the use for them in your projects.